Yeah. Yeah, some of those guys more so than other. I'm not sure how much Coach Ryan's stepping on the mat anymore. I'm sure he'd love to. But for his own health, that's probably not the best idea against these young Bucks.
I know the feeling. Red singlets for the Buckeyes today. UNC in the white and Carolina blue.
Yeah, we see Carson's knee still in that brace. Probably just precautionary at this point as he picks up a takedown.
Early takedown for Kharchla. Great change of directions back and forth. Obviously, Santiago had no answer for that second shot. And I asked Carson about that leg brace and how it is going to affect him. I basically said, are you feeling free and easy? He said, yeah, basically from a health standpoint, I'm feeling free and easy. I can do everything that I want to do, although there are some obviously mobility restrictions when you wear a brace such as that.
Did he say if that's something that he expects to shed later in the season?
He kind of gave a little bit of an indication that was maybe a hope.
Okay.
To maybe get rid of the brace as the season went along, but didn't say, hey, I'm trying to get that off there in a couple of weeks.
Right. Yeah. Definitely want to preserve your health as much as possible, especially during the first couple of weeks of the year.
And you can see he has every restart, every start and stop, he has been adjusting the top of that padding. It is cumbersome. There's no doubt about it. He'll issue an escape here, go back to his feet. Kharchla had sort of a half shot that didn't score, and then committed to one and scored relatively easily against Santiago. We'll see if he keeps a high rate of attack here.
Santiago's a redshirt freshman from Downey, California. He's 4-1 as a redshirt.
We've got 1:45 left to go here in the first period. 2-1, Kharchla on top. Far side underhook.
California, he was a state champ and a 3-time state placer, a very large state that only has one wrestling division.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. California goes with just one division. Being a state champion in California means that you are the best at your weight class in the most populous state in the union. 1:15 left on the clock. A bit of a slow pace here after the kick out. And you wonder for Kharchla, it has been such a long time coming. Now he's in on a shot, and again, running the feet one way and the other.
It's like a double re-attack. Re-attacked, missed, then re-attacked again.
And finishes off the takedown, but you wonder for Kharchla, after that pace slowed a little bit, there's been so much anticipation, not just from the fans, but for him to get out there in the first actual match here in a Buckeye singlet in the Cavelli Center. You wonder if some of that initial adrenaline rush wore off there. Now he's looking for, I almost had an assassin there.
Gonna keep Santiago on his toes. Yeah, there's definitely those nerves that you feel, no matter how big a match as you wrestled in high school. There's just nothing like that the first time you put on your college's singlet and wrestle in front of your home crowd. There's going to be some nerves, maybe a little bit of anxiety. A lot of these guys are really good at not showing it and wrestling through it, but sometimes you get a little glimpse of it.
So we've got now 26 seconds left in the period. 58 seconds of riding time has been built up from Kharchla. He'll likely lock that in on this exchange for going over a minute. It won't be locked in, of course, for the match. Now down to 20 seconds.
Kharchla going to try to ride him out here through the rest of the period.
I like the thought there, obviously, with the clock ticking down. Keep that point and obviously build the riding time.
He's not afraid to throw that brace in his boot.
Sure. 4 seconds remain. He's going to finish the period on top here. And that's the first period for Carson Kharchla, 4-1 lead against Sonny Santiago.
It's going to be Santiago's choice, and he's going to take bottom. Right back where they left off.
But for Santiago, not only a 3-time state placer in California, but at St. John Bosco High School, 3-time Scholar Athlete of the Year. Not bad.
That's a quality that a lot of college coaches are looking at.
Absolutely. If you can be a guy who's going to perform in the classroom as well, it makes it a lot easier.
A lot less distractions.
Right. That's a good hard ride here from Kharchla. Top and bottom was an emphasis for the Buckeyes over the offseason, and it has been nationally a story for Ohio State that bottom has been a problem for this group at the top tier level. And So it was a focus of the coaching staff. And obviously when you're working on bottom, by default, you're also working on top. And so we'll see how the improvement runs this season as well.
Yeah, top is something Ohio State's been very strong on their feet, pretty good on top, but yeah, bottom's been one of their struggles. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that extra focus during the offseason pays off for that.
Well, and right now you've got this coaching staff. Bo Jordan was just vicious on top, and so was Logan Stieber in different ways. Very different hammers on top, but they can certainly, as the escape is issued here to make it 4-2, help out a team with mat wrestling. We are under a minute to go now in period number 2. 45 seconds on the clock. 4-2 Kharchla on top, and he's got 2 minutes, 22 seconds of riding time. Shot attempt there by Santiago, and
Kharchla tries to follow it up, but not able to get to the legs.
30 seconds left in the period. 30 seconds.
Both guys going to want to finish this period on top. Just one takedown from Santiago to tie it up.
Kharchla's stance is starting to get a little bit upright. And again, you wonder how much, I'm sure he's in fantastic physical condition, but the moment can have an effect, and it did have no effect right there. Did he bring him to the mat, though? Out of bounds? Yes, the takedown was awarded. So 6-2, Kharchla with a big takedown with now under 5 seconds left on the clock. If he can finish on top here again, it'll be a 4-point lead heading into the third period with riding time at 2 minutes, 26 seconds.
Really quick on his feet on that go behind. That brace is not slowing him down.
No.
And if it is, that's scary.
That's right. Keeping the weight on those hands. That'll burn off the final 5 ticks. And we'll go to the third, Kharchla's choice. And he will take bottom. Now, riding time is not locked in at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but if he gets off the bottom here in relatively short order, that should do it. But still here, a competitive match. As you said, it was a one takedown match not long ago. Santiago is still alive in this match. And we have not gotten a chance to see him on top. Maybe he's got some toughness there.
Yeah. He's going right to work with a hard spout right off the right side. No first move from Kharchla. He's trying to maintain his base. Tries to hip over, and he's able to get away.
Now creating motion and separation.
He's waiting for his window of opportunity.
You see less and less of the just initial blow off the whistle stand up and more react to what the top man does.
Yeah, a little post tension, figure out what the top guy's first move is, and then just find your window of opportunity. 7-2
lead. And as the clock ticks down now to 1 minute 10 seconds, riding time is locked in for Kharchla.
That's going to be an effective 6-point lead as Santiago's deep in on a shot. He's got his hands locked around Kharchla's leg.
Kharchla fighting for a stalemate there. He'll get it. So Kharchla needing a takedown for bonus.
Yeah, a takedown and a ride out is what's going to take.
Now he's shown the ability, obviously, to get quick takedowns, but not necessarily rapid-fire takedowns. So you think, well, okay, maybe you can get 2 takedowns and lock that in as well, but that's not been his game so far. And kicking away from a potential takedown. Good quickness again from Kharchla. Back to the center with just over 40 seconds to go.
Santiago's not only trying to fight off the major, but he's trying to get some points of his own.
Well, he hadn't really gotten to his shot until late in the match, and by that point, the horse not exactly out of the barn, but it has its neck out the door. Here's a shot from Kharchla. Looking to change directions again and finish. He's got it. That's the 2. That's a 9-2 lead with 20 seconds to go. He needs the ride out. Santiago knows that. He wants to get to his feet and get off the bottom. They get out of bounds with 13 and a half ticks remaining. Awareness for both of these guys. They understand the situation.
Yeah, they're both trying to score points.
To the score, 13 seconds to go. Quickly to his feet, Santiago trying to cut away. Kharchla with a mat return, rolling back over. Santiago directly to his feet, but a bring down now with 3 seconds to go. Flattened out Santiago. Kharchla's going to ride it out. and tack on the riding point, make it 10-2, and that's a major 4-0 lead for the Buckeyes. The Cavelli Center debut for Carson Kharchla goes very well, breathing heavy at the end of the match. But he did his job for the Buckeyes, putting 4 points on the board at 165 pounds. On this year to be one of their leaders on and off the mat.
Yeah, a shot you're probably going to see a lot from him tonight is his low single. He's really dialed in his timing so far on that shot. He drops into a single leg. Not a low single, but close enough.
Not wasting any time trying to finish off the takedown. Smith has it. 2-0 as the senior goes right to work.
Tries to pull him to a crab ride. Ain't able to grab his leg, trying to work up. Maybe get a reversal here.
Well, he's got the leg, but now we've got a situation with a knee. Keep an eye on that, but now
Smith's still in control here. He is gaining riding time.
And this is a weird situation in college wrestling. And in a situation like this, Smith is actually gaining more and more advantage.
Yeah.
Now he's keeping the head up. Scramble continues.
Back and forth.
Boy, Kane is in a good spot to try and get a reversal here. But again, still in this situation, when it's 98% control for Kane, it's Smith who's building the riding time.
Just needs to beat that whizzer in order to get to 2. Now rear stand, that's going to be a standing reversal.
Yes, indeed. So the reversal happens. It's a 2-2 match with riding time now ticking down at about 50 seconds.
Smith on his feet, trying to get away at the edge of the mat, but Kane's going to be able to maintain control as they go out of bounds with a minute 37 left in the period.
Well, they've had nothing but action.
Yeah, tied 2-2. There is 41 seconds in favor of Smith for riding time.
Even though he was only really in control for about 13.
Yep.
That's how the rules work.
Granby attempt off the whistle, and that's going to be another reversal. You don't see many reversals in college wrestling, but we've seen 2 so far in this first period.
You get long odds against that.
Kane to his feet. He's going to break away for 1.
Interesting to see how that plays out as Smith is right back in on the attack, trying to score another takedown. With both wrestlers scoring reversals and showing the ability to move on bottom, what effect does that have on these guys moving forward in this match once they secure a takedown? Are they going to be more willing to, okay, let's just cut them away, wrestle on our feet?
Maybe be a little more cautious in your riding, not get too high. Maybe not try to throw legs in. That's how Smith got reversed, tried to throw that leg in, got caught. So we'll see how they can adjust to those new data points.
Smith almost had to go behind there, just was stopped as he ran his feet to the left.
Another single attempt.
He's timed up that shot very well. Kane able to fight it off for now. There are 35 seconds remaining on the clock here in the first period. Kane in the lead, 5-4.
Smith trying to get the back corner. Really tough whizzer from Kane, though. So brings it to his feet. Switch double, and there's the 2.
Smith goes up. I think we've got 6-3 on the score. We had a takedown for Smith and a reversal to make it 2-2. Then Smith got a reversal to make it 4-2. Kane escaped to make it 4-3. And Smith got a takedown to make it, I believe, 6-3. We'll see if they do any
I think that's
changes down there. Now Smith will take bottom to begin here in the second period. He's leading. He's got 1:05 of riding time as that begins to tick down with Kane on top here.
Gets right to his feet.
And cuts away. The riding time is broken down to 57 seconds. So 7-5 is what it says on the board. I believe it is 7-3, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Smith in on a low shot and has both legs wrapped. That'll give him the takedown. He'll have to move up the body, and does as they go out of bounds with the riding time back now up over a minute at 1:02 with a minute 27 to go in the second period.
Yeah. Smith is not wasting his time on his feet. Any opportunity to get he's going in on a shot. He's very, very aggressive.
Smith hit with a caution there, no points awarded. Did a couple of those warnings. And now they're off. And again, with the vagaries and the rule changes with referee whistles, boy, there's no escape there. So Kane is trying to get another reversal right now.
All right, come out the back door.
I wonder if one of the rationales for not a hard stand-up on the whistle is to avoid those cautions.
Yeah. I think until you get one, you kind of got them to give. I mean, you get 2 warnings.
Yeah. Here again, by the way, Smith's riding time continues to build even in this precarious situation. He's locked in the crotch. He's in control. Kane, though, is actually in the slightly better position. And a stalemate is called. So after all that, the work done by Kane to try and secure the reversal, all that happens is Smith's riding time builds up to 1:46.
Still no correction on the score. I think we're correct. I believe that Kane's only gotten the reversal and the one escape.
I think that's all we've seen so far, but
no one from the Ohio State section seems to be wanting to correct that.
now they call it 9-6 after the escape issue. 30 seconds to go here in the second period. Now it's Kane in on a shot. We've not seen him in here. We've seen him there on reversal attempts, but never from neutral. And so now that was almost danger there for Smith, but he's got Kane's ankle high. Smith now again with that overhook of the lower leg. They're going to give 2 there to Kane, and the scoreboard says 9-8. I would imagine that there will be a challenge of that, or at least a questioning of that, during the changeover between the second and third period, and we're just about there with 1 second left on the clock, and that's it.
There comes the challenge, Brick.
Yeah, the challenge will be for the takedown, and I'm sure they will look at the score as well. Right now, it's listed at 9-8, Smith on top with riding time, but I believe the score is 9-6.
Well, it looks like they took away the takedown. The rest, without the challenge, took away the takedown. So now it should be 9-4.
Yeah, they've reverted the in-arena scoreboard to say 9-6. So after the wave off of the takedown, they are going to put 10 seconds left on the clock. Last 10 seconds, bad time, and we'll re-wrestle it here.
Smith right on another shot, double from space.
Boy, could he make good on this. 1 second left, no takedown as they go out of bounds. We must have missed something.
I think they're going to try to get it figured out.
So obviously, UNC is still not happy about the reversal of the call. Well, a nice little hop up there from the referee, showing some agility. All right, so they have announced the score here in the arena as 9-6.
So I guess that's what we're going with for now. Kane's going to take bottom to start the third, and Ethan's just going to let him up from optional start. So that's going to make it 9-7 on the scoreboard.
And right in on a shot now, Smith running the feet. And again into a scramble situation. Kane has actually looked pretty good in these types of spots, but now back on a hand. They've waved off the takedown. Originally gave it, now they've waved it off, now they give it back. And it's 11-7. Ethan Smith on top here. That riding time building up now to a minute 51 with a stalemate.
Get a restart with a minute 28 left.
Well, if this finishes as a 6-point or less victory, it's not going to matter what the actual score is in terms of the team points. But right now, it's a 3-point advantage for Smith with riding time, not locked in yet, but about 30 seconds away from it.
Yeah, so by our math, it's 11-6. It's a 5-point lead, a point for riding time. So one takedown and a ride out would be a major, again, by our math.
Smith not quite able to get the entire corner there. And there's the takedown. So indeed, right now, it would be a major decision, but there are 50 seconds left on the clock. So there's the kick out. And Kane is in on the shot. Boy, neither guy is wasting a moment on their feet. Smith with his head down on the mat. Best case scenario for him probably right now is a stalemate.
Even that far ankle, he's just going to hip into him.
As he was able to rock Kane to a hip, now Smith is in a little bit better spot.
And there's a takedown.
Well, I tell you what, that's just good power.
In that position, you just got to keep that far ankle.
15-10 now is the score. And boy, I tell you what, five seconds left in the match. Needing the takedown for the major. He's not going to get it. But again, if that score is how we think it is, he had the major in hand, but going by the in-arena scoreboard, it'll be a 16-10 victory for Ethan Smith. That was an entertaining match for sure. Final match of the first half here. Big man steps on the mat to take on Brandon Whitman, as you mentioned, from Dundee High School in Michigan. Born in Toledo, so south of the state line. Of course, the war was fought over Toledo by Ohio and Michigan, and Ohio lost, so they had to take Toledo. And Orndorff now with a front headlock. I say that joke because I'm from Toledo. Orndorff was very, very active in his wrestle-off. He was impressive.
Yeah, we'll see. He's up in a upper body lock right now. And this is where, especially at heavyweight, more so than any other weight, it could tip any other way.
And that's what we were talking during the wrestle-off. Who's the bigger lock for an NCAA champion when you talk about Spencer Lee at 125 or Gable Stevenson at heavyweight? So many things can go wrong at heavyweight that are less likely at the lighter weights.
Yeah.
With an upper body lock like that, you can see here going out of bounds. A slip, a sweat spot on the mat, anything can turn to disaster for a heavyweight.
I still can't see that happening to Gable.
I'd be surprised.
Bunch of hand fighting so far here. 1:45 left in the first. Only real shot attempt coming from Whitman, which was stuffed early in the period. There's another shot attempt from Whitman.
Orndorff using his size and leverage throughout this to defend that shot from this position here that we also saw earlier in the match.
So Orndorff's looking to go upper body. He's jacking him up. He gets his body lock. I think he's got his hands locked.
Yes, he does. Looking for something big. Whoop. Whitman able to slip out of there.
He's going to go right back to it, driving in the underhook. Gets his hands locked again. Now he's in the center of the mat this time.
Well, see, I think he's got that. I think he's got that measured, like a boxer starting off with a jab. How much? Yeah. How close do I have to get? How far across do I have to get to lock my hands? I think he's got that measured now. See if that comes through later on in the match.
Yeah, still early on in the match. You know, both wrestlers are still really solid. A move like that might pay a little more dividends later in the match.
Well, that's a lot of what we've seen, I think, from Orndorff so far, and Whitman to a lesser extent with less success, I guess, is the leaning, the snapping, the making your opponent wear your weight. I think Orndorff has had that advantage so far.
Orndorff going back to that upper body, gets the lock. Whitman That's good defense, though.
So you noted that twice in the center just there, and the previous time had it in the center of the mat, did not commit to the attempt.
Yeah.
Whereas near the out-of-bounds line, he felt, I guess, maybe more comfortable committing. Just in case something goes wrong, there's the boundary.
He's definitely being calculated in his risk. Whitman's going to defer to Orndorff. Orndorff will take down.
Scoreless first period, and a lot of folks that are watching, they think, well, not a whole lot went on there. Well, a lot went on there. That just didn't translate to points.
Orndorff to his feet, but Whitman able to return him. Orndorff's going to get away for the first point of the match.
Took him just 10 seconds to do it. 10 seconds of riding time for Whitman built up. And right in on a shot. Whitman seems very comfortable taking a shot and getting beneath a guy who, I mean, just looking at the two of them side by side, a much bigger guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Orndorff not being aggressive with leg attacks, but he is being aggressive in his upper body. Hasn't really committed to anything yet like Whitman has.
And back to that lock. A lot of real estate to work with here.
Orndorff keeps coming back to that upper body. Now a minute left in the second.
Not a lot of activity, but a lot of energy being expended here.
Another shot attempt by Whitman. It's going to be a stall call on Orndorff.
So back and forth go the stall warnings here.
I think he waved off the stall warning on Whitman.
I think you're right.
Stalling warning only on the Buckeyes. Stalling warning only on the Buckeyes.
And it's not necessarily a call I disagree with. The crowd here doesn't like it, but the offensive attempts have largely belonged to Whitman.
Yeah, Orndorff's he's been aggressive in his upper body, but he hasn't committed to anything. He's not taking any risks. Right. If you're not taking any risks, you're going to get hit for stalling. There's big risks shooting in onto a heavyweight's legs, like Whitman has been.
10 seconds left in period number 2. Still no score. Half shot attempt and another by Orndorff. For looks as much as anything else here as the time expires in period number 2. Whitman's choice, you got to think he's going to take bottom and try and tie this match up with a quick escape. He will.
So just 10 seconds in favor of Whitman. Of riding time.
Orndorff needs some help, Buckeye Nation. He needs noise.
Clean start. A lot of heavy pressure from Orndorff. Now, Orndorff can ride here, but he also does need to be cognizant of the fact that he's got a stall warning.
Right. Trying to hook that ankle. Still hanging a lot of pressure on Whitman.
Now he's got him flattened out, and Whitman has to carry a very big man across his shoulders right now.
So what's Orndorff's strategy here? Is he trying to turn him? Is he trying to just ride him out, maybe wear him out?
Boy, I think Orndorff from the very beginning has had a strategy of trying to wear out Whitman and maybe set up late in that match for that body lock takedown.
Yeah.
And right now, if Whitman can't get his hips up off the mat, Orndorff can just stay there. He's staying active. He's moving his feet. This is college wrestling. This isn't high school wrestling in Ohio where you're going to get dinged for stalling right there. So as long as he stays active, he is well within his rights to continue wrestling this way. And for Whitman, we talked about all that energy-burning strategy earlier on. Trying to get a man this size up off your body is no mean feat.
Just 40 seconds left here in the third period. It's a stall call against Whitman. Both men have been warned now.
And that's one of those stall calls where you see it because he hasn't based up, but can he base up?
Right. It's not a matter of will.
Right. And now Orndorff, we can't see it with the shot, but it looks like he's got that arm across the back.
Riding time is locked for Orndorff too, so Whitman's going to need more than an escape.
And at this point, with 15 seconds left, Orndorff can even weather a stall call. And there, that strategy early in the match just to wear and wear and wear on his opponent paid off there in the third as Whitman just did not have the juice to get off the bottom.
Yeah, not the most exciting match, but Orndorff finds a way to win it.
2-0 victory against a ranked opponent. You take it, you put it in the bank, you move on, you learn from it. And if you're Whitman, you get on the treadmill.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to do it for the first half of this meet.
Was asked about how ready he is to get into this season. And one of the things that he mentioned is last year, he felt kind of pressured, self-pressured, just to win every match, to manage a match and come out with the victory. And didn't really feel like he opened things up as much as he could have, as much as he wanted to. And he said that was going to be a focus this year, to just go out there and let it eat. And we'll see now how that happens. He comes right out of the blocks against a tough opponent in number 5, Zach Sherman.
Already more hand fighting than we saw the last match.
Yes. Sherman has the low leg trying to work up the body. Sasso is in no kind of hurry here. This is a spot he does not mind being in. Scoring off of defense has been one of his fortes.
Yeah, looking to hook the leg, try to get a takedown here, but Sherman going to try to take Sasso's leg over his head and come out the back door potentially.
So Sasso gives up that half gone around to get more into a scramble situation because, again, he is supremely comfortable here. He's got both ankles wrapped, and now can he elevate them? Or Sherman still controlling Sasso's left ankle. And now you're in a predicament.
Both guys with one leg. No real advantage to either guy so far. Sasso trying to come around now, putting weight on that front foot. He just needs to drive over that foot into Sherman to get the 2.
Very close to it.
Nothing yet.
Referee right on it, seeing Sherman holding onto that ankle for dear life. The scramble continues. Sherman rolls through. And now again, Sasso. With that leg extended, it'll be a stalemate.
All that action, nothing to show for it. Minute 30 left in the period.
The Sherman of North Carolina, a redshirt senior from Islamorada, Florida.
Sherman wrestled at Blair Academy.
New Jersey, currently 2-0 on the year in the number 5.
Sasso at Nazareth, Pennsylvania, 2-time state champ in the Keystone State. Won just about everything there is to win in high school. Fargo, Super 32, Beast of the East. Low Nationals.
It's re-attacked by Sasso.
Excellent work. He's going to score the takedown there. Great pressure going forward, not allowing Sherman to continue into the scramble. And so now Sasso from on top.
Crab ride position on the edge of the mat.
Very good on top. Cradles his forte. Dangerous from a lot of places, and out of bounds they go. And again, that's just heady wrestling. Being on the out of bounds line, you know if Sherman is able to head hunt, hip heist over, and put you on your back, it doesn't matter because you're out of bounds.
Right. Yeah. Good mat awareness. Sasso's got 19 seconds of riding time as we're going to restart with 36 seconds left on the clock. We're going to caution from Sherman though.
Top 5 matchup here, a top 15 matchup in terms of these teams. And Ohio State dominated, winning the first 6 matches in a row. UNC has come out on top at 133 and 141. It's 20-6. Buckeyes on top with a dual meet score.
Dual meet is pretty much locked pending any penalty points against the coaches.
Yeah.
Sasso riding tough, 10 seconds to go. Has that ankle hooked.
He just wants to burn off the rest of this period and will do so on top with 55 seconds of riding time in the bank.
It's going to be Sherman's choice. And he's going to defer into the 3rd period. Sasso's going to go down.
After Sherman, I don't know if you want to go down right here. Oftentimes you'll see that, okay, it's my choice, I'll take down. You just got ridden for almost a full minute. Wait to the 3rd period to see if it's necessary to go down.
Yeah. Sometimes if you know you're not great on bottom, you just want to do it in the 2nd period while you still got some lungs in
right.
you. Sherman looking for a cradle of his own. Sasso to his feet.
The thing that, and really from day one, when you watch Sammy Sasso wrestle, regardless of the opponent, here's a cradle attempt.
It's locked up.
Sherman's got the hands locked. Sasso, boy, what defense. And it speaks to what I was just going to mention. You want to talk about a guy with a slow heartbeat on the mat? Sammy Sasso is it.
No escape point yet.
I'm not sure.
I call that
There it is.
control.
There's really no change in the situation there from the last 7 seconds, but finally the takedown is awarded. But Sammy Sasso just never seems rushed, never hurried.
Right. Yeah, he definitely wrestles at his own pace, which is usually really fast. Right back to the center. Looks like we got some blood.
It doesn't matter the situation, whether he's on top, whether he's on bottom, whether it's neutral in a scramble situation. You can see almost the gears turning in his head, thinking, okay, here's my situation, here's my next step. And it's an impressive thing to see because it was there right from the get-go. And some people just have that in them, and other people are just naturally more, I guess you'd say, frenetic, right? It's let's get to the next thing right away.
Yeah, it's definitely more calculated. Takes calculated risks. Get a restart with a minute left in the second.
Looks like for Sherman it was a bloody nose. They've got him plugged up and right back to action.
Underhook for Sherman.
Taking some ground here. Sasso's able to clear it and get free. Sasso, one of the black shirts for Ohio State. Big part of the leadership group in that room, gets kind of flattened out here on this shot, but now trying to turn it into a dump.
Loses the arm. It's going to transition. Looks like he's got his hands locked on the single leg.
Give up the lock, and now we'll give up the leg. 15 seconds to go here in period number 2.
Riding time pretty negligible, just 9 seconds in favor of Sasso heading into the third. It's going to be Sherman's choice. He'll take bottom. Sherman is not able to get out after Sasso's takedown in the first.
Sammy had 55 seconds of riding time after the first period. Due to that long exchange near the out-of-bounds line, a lot of that riding time was whittled away.
We'll get a false start called here on Sasso.
So each wrestler now with a caution. Clean start.
Sherman right to
didn't
his
take
feet.
any time to get to his feet. Pulled into a crab ride there.
And we're going to get a challenge. I think they're going to be looking for an illegal mat return, but I'm not sure that it was. I have to see a replay.
And we were looking at it from the front side, so we weren't able to see the kind of kick out there behind the knees.
So I'm guessing that's what they're challenging. The way the rule works, if Sasso returns into a crab ride from a standing position, he has to keep his feet on the mat. So North Carolina coach is probably challenging that he did not have his feet on the mat when he was
Looked
doing
like the right foot came off the mat when it happened live, but
you see one foot, I believe. As long as one foot's still on.
I did not see the left foot come off the mat. That's basically, you can't just leap up and kick both knees out.
Right.
There's a danger, obviously, to the bottom man when you do that, so that's against the rules.
And it's the second to last match. It's the marquee match. You only got one challenge. Might as well use it.
Use it now, absolutely. Coleman Scott, the head coach at North Carolina. Tony Ramos, the associate head coach, a former Iowa Hawkeye.
Rival of assistant coach Logan Stieber of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
It was interesting during the media availability when the coaches were out there. We were talking about the coaching staff, and Logan added to the staff full-time this year. And I asked about the North Carolina coaching staff. Coach Jay Jaggers was talking about how well coached this North Carolina team is and the respect they have for that coaching staff. And he mentioned Ramos, formerly a rival of Logan Stieber. Now they're friends. And you know, if you followed Tony Ramos through his college and then post-college career, he's one of those guys that it's hard to imagine having a lot of friends. He was just hard-nosed.
He kind of flipped the switch once he,
Yes.
I wouldn't say graduated, but once he left Iowa.
Yeah.
Draw whatever conclusions from that you want. I think that's even kind of carrying over to Gilman, too. He left Iowa. I think there's a little bit of a character change.
I mean, those are guys that you want them on your team. There's no doubt about it. But if they're wearing another colored singlet from you, you can see why there's animosity there. No doubt about it. But they continue to look things over here on the monitor. And we are not privy to those replays. We can't tell you exactly what they're looking at, or even if it is an illegal mat return that they're talking about or looking at. But
I believe that the announcer announced that it was what they were looking for, a no call of illegal return.
So as it stands right now, and we're going to get the call.
Oh.
So North Carolina, I don't see any points issued, so they have not found it to be an illegal mat return.
No, it is a illegal mat return. They gave him one. It was 3-0.
Okay, so once the referee got back to the center, he did issue the point, so it is an illegal mat return. And they are going to reset the clock to 1:59 because it happened basically as soon as Sherman got back to his feet. So this will be the second time in this duel that we've had some bad time re-wrestled.
So that point could be a pretty major factor in this match. Sherman gets right to his feet. Not quite able to get away. No change there.
So 3-2 should be the score there.
It should still be it was 3-0.
Or yes, excuse me. 3-1 is the score. So yeah, it was 3-0 heading into the period. Riding time building up now for Sasso as they go completely out of bounds. 38 seconds on the riding time clock. 1 minute 32 seconds remaining in the match clock. Sherman has had no trouble getting to his feet. He's not yet been able to get away.
Sasso riding tough. Sherman keeps getting to his feet.
Locking hands call. I thought there might have been a locking hands call off the whistle, but now they're going to challenge that. But the first one.
Sasso says no. I don't know if he's saying no to the challenge or no to the locked hands.
Well, on the start, he was over the head and locked his hands under the arm, sort of a side headlock, but he wasn't out to the side for like a Merkel. But then the second time when it was called, I don't know if he was under both arms or not.
Yeah, again, we're not going to be able to get a good angle on this.
But to your point again, I mean, if you have a challenge, use it now.
Yeah, might as well.
It's a big point.
Yeah, 2 penalty points so far against Sammy Sasso in this period, just 40 seconds into it. Does have 51 seconds of riding time now.
And so on the restart, and both wrestlers have a caution, but on the restart, for Sasso, obviously the strategy here is to finish off this ride and get it up over a minute of riding time. And then he would still be ahead even after an escape, and then you have to defend. Either wrestler's been warned for stalling. And really, Sherman has had some pretty good shots and sequences on his feet.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been able to get to his feet from bottom a couple times against Sasso, just not able to break away yet.
Now, of course, the referees are going to have to find definitive evidence that the hands were not locked because the call on the mat was locked hands. And that can be tough to find. Both of these calls loom large. Sasso with a takedown and escape. Sherman so far just with 2 penalty points.
Looks like we're about to get a call. And it looks like
the
it is
locking
confirmed.
hands. Yep, that'll stay. So both teams have challenged. Ohio State has used theirs, and they won't get another. Because North Carolina challenged successfully, they still have a challenge.
Another clean start. Sasso looking to get that riding time over a minute.
Needs 5 seconds to get it. Roll from Sherman as they come back down to the mat. Now the riding time is over a minute. Now Sasso can ride it out. It becomes a bit of a moot point. 1 point win or a 2 point win. They both serve the same function.
Head out of bounds with 58 seconds, under a minute left to go.
If there is an escape for Sherman, Sasso still obviously has to fend off a takedown and get one of his own. Plenty of time left in this match. Minute 12 of riding time, 58 seconds to go.
Sherman able to sit out, trying to fight that top hand now. Sasso's just a leech, though.
Very tough on top.
Again to the short sit position. Trying to peel hands as Sherman, trying to sit out.
There's just something mentally defeating about a guy that you can't shake. And Sasso is one of those guys. And now he's in a really good spot where he can burn some clock right here with that leg turn. And it slips out. 20 seconds now. Riding time is locked.
Sherman going to need a reversal or escape takedown. And they're going to go out of bounds. Sasso still in control.
Yeah, that same situation. Riding time is locked. 11.5 seconds on the clock. And if things get into a roll-around situation, Sasso has the advantages just being able to get clear.
Yeah, Sasso just basically needs to avoid the reversal. It's going to be really tough to get escape and takedown inside 11 seconds, so it can be done. But if I'm Sherman, I'm probably going for the reversal here.
You can see he wants to look back, but Sasso, again, will just clear it out, let it go with 2 seconds left. That's the strategy. 3-3 match, but tack on the riding point, and for Sammy Sasso, that's a good top 5 win. 4-3 victory for Sasso, and for the Buckeyes, they go up 23-6. The duel is locked in.